Hello and welcome. I'm a digital marketing associate with SmartThoughts, and we're the folks who help associations and nonprofits make sense of the, let's face it, pretty confusing world of software. Today, we're diving deep into a major player you've probably heard of, NeonOne. So, if you're an executive trying to figure out if this is the right tool for your organization, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down NeonOne, the good, the bad, and the it depends to help you decide if it's the right strategic fit. By the end of this, I promise you'll have a much clearer picture of what this platform can, and just as importantly, can't do for you. All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll kick things off with a quick overview. Then, we'll get into where NeonOne really excels. After that, we'll have a frank discussion about its limitations and trade-offs. From there, we'll tee up some key questions for your team, and finally, get to the bottom line. Is NeonOne the right choice for you? So let's jump right in. First up, the fundamentals. What even is NeonOne, and who is it built for? Understanding where it came from really helps clarify its role in the market today. Does this scene feel a little too familiar? The walls covered with index cards, donation histories scribbled on sticky notes, event registrations, living in who knows what spreadsheet. This kind of organized chaos is exactly the problem NeonOne was designed to solve for growing organizations just trying to keep it all together. So at its core, NeonOne is a unified platform, and that word, unified, is really the key. It's built to stop that juggling act between a bunch of different tools by pulling everything, donor history, event management, communications, all under one roof. It's really about managing relationships, not just processing transactions. And listen, this isn't some small startup that just popped up. With a projected annual revenue of $15 million by 2025, NeonOne is a really stable and significant player in this space. They're not a flash in the pan. This is a mature company with a solid track record. So who's their perfect customer? Well, at SmartThoughts, we use what we call a tier classification framework, and NeonOne sits right in our tier 2 and 3. What that really means is it's built for small to mid-sized associations. Think operating budgets somewhere between $500,000 and $5 million. These are the groups who are bursting at the seams of spreadsheets and are desperately looking for a real all-in-one solution. Now for the fun part. Let's talk about where NeonOne really, truly shines, because understanding these core strengths is absolutely crucial to seeing why it's such a serious contender for so many organizations out there. Okay, this is a big one. One of NeonOne's biggest differentiators is its pricing model. Most platforms charge you per contact, right? Which, if you think about it, basically penalizes you for growing your community. NeonOne flips that script. They use a revenue-based model, and honestly, that's a game changer. It means their success is literally tied to your success. It feels much more like a true partnership. And you don't have to take my word for it. This user review from Capterra really gets to the heart of it. The value is that single integrated system. This isn't just marketing speak. These are real users confirming that yes, it actually does bring all their data together in one place. Another huge strength, their commitment to making sure you actually succeed with the software. The NeonOne Academy gets praised all the time. Look, a tool is only as good as your team's ability to use it, and it's clear NeonOne really invests in top-notch training to make sure you get up and running smoothly. And check out this number, because it really makes you sit up and take notice. A reported 33% average growth in donations for nonprofits in their first year on the platform. Now, sure, any move from spreadsheets is going to give you a boost, but this is a pretty powerful sign that the platform is actively helping you raise more money. All right, we've seen the highlights, but let's be real, no platform is perfect. And to make a smart decision, you have to understand the limitations and the trade-offs. This part is every bit as important as knowing what it does well.
I want to be crystal clear here. What we're about to talk about, these are not fatal flaws. They're strategic trade-offs. Every single platform has them. The whole game is about finding the set of compromises that works best for your specific organization.
When we dig through peer reviews, the most consistent bit of constructive feedback is about customer support. This quote right here really hits the nail on the head. The main pain point is a support model that relies on submitting tickets and scheduling calls. For teams that need an answer right now, this can cause some serious delays. So let's break down the 3 main trade-offs you need to consider. First, that support model. It can feel slow if you don't have a tech whiz on your team. Second, the learning curve. It's a really robust platform, which is great, but that can feel overwhelming for people who are new to CRMs. And finally, NeonPay, their built-in payment processor, gets some, well, mixed reviews.
Some users report real headaches with reconciliation and reporting.
And that brings us to the most important part of this whole briefing. We've looked at the platform, now it's time to turn the mirror on your organization. These are the critical questions you absolutely need to discuss as a team before you even think about signing a contract.
First question, and be honest with yourselves. Thinking about that support model we just talked about, can your staff manage and troubleshoot issues on their own while they wait for a scheduled call? Or is that a total deal breaker for your workflow?
Next up, go talk to your finance team. Given the feedback on Neon Pay, how critical is super smooth, seamless payment reconciliation to your operations? For some organizations, a few hiccups are no big deal. For others, it's a full-blown accounting nightmare. You need to know which one you are. Now for a more strategic question about your future. NeonOne is fantastic at growing with you inside its target market. But what does your 5-year plan look like? If it involves massive scaling or really complex new programs, is there a risk you might outgrow it down the line? And finally, what's your core business model, really? NeonOne's absolute sweet spot is that hybrid organization, the one that balances membership and fundraising. If you're a pure B2B trade association focused almost entirely on member benefits, there might be other platforms that are more tailored to your specific world. So, all of this brings us to the final decision. After you weigh the strengths, the trade-offs, and your own internal needs, how do you actually make the call? You know, the stakes here are incredibly high. In all my time at SmartThoughts, I've seen organizations get this wrong. They fall in love with a couple of cool features, but completely overlook a critical trade-off that comes back to bite them. The goal here is to help you avoid that and choose with total confidence. Look, NeonOne is a fantastic platform for the right organization. But whether that's your organization depends on your specific needs, your growth plans, and your budget. To translate everything you've learned today into a decision you can feel great about, the next step is a detailed assessment. We invite you to book a free consultation over at smartthoughts.net. We can help you make sure the choice you make is the right one. Thanks for joining me.